Hi, I'm Eddie Obeng, and this is How. Daily, I bring you a different way to get stuff done. Unlike other quick vids and podcasts, which talk about, why, and there's a lot of discussion about why should we do this or what? This is what we should do. This is what we should stop doing. Great, but no one knows how to do how. If that makes sense. So the focus is on how, and I've been bringing you a different people engagement tool almost every single day. So let's jump in. This time I have one for you, which has got a really strange name. It's called the dead body syndrome. Oh, spooky. Anyway, here we are on Cube, where, as you know, the sun is always shining. And there you go. You can see it through the window. And this is me sitting on the chair here, watching this video over here. And one of my favorite cubicles, the roundtable cubicle, which has a little video of me in the corner there, which is really funny. So, okay, let's jump up and have a look at what we can find. So, what's the challenge with dead body syndrome? The best way to understand it is the standard mistake everyone makes over and over and over again when they are presented with change. Okay, and I describe it using this little game here. This is a trick stick. You push the stick through somebody's buttonhole, it's got a loop on it, and then when you push it through, they're supposed to undo it, and they can never undo it because the string is sort of slightly shorter than the stick, okay? And the reason they can't do it is because the first thing they do, if you have the problem like this, is you hold on to the stick, because that's the structured part, and then you yank away at the different, the string. And that's exactly what you shouldn't do, and that's what dead body syndrome is there to try and explain. So, a couple of years ago, I visited a gold mine. Okay, this is not real gold, but I visited a gold mine. As you know, gold is hard to get hold of. And gold mines, by the way, do not look like this. They don't have piles of gold. But anyway, I went down this gold mine, and they had, the reason why I went was the client had sunk the deepest shaft in the world ever, on time, to budget, and they found gold. I mean, that is an incredible feat. But unfortunately, as they dug it, they said, we had a problem with the loss rate. I said, what? The loss rate? I said, what's the loss rate? Well, it had a couple of accidents, and unfortunately, I think they lost somebody. So it might have been a success in terms of the fast, the good, the cheap, the time, the cost, the quality, all the hard stuff. But unfortunately, something really sad had happened. So what's going on here? You see, when you have a challenge, you can focus in two different directions. You can focus in terms of the people. So if you focus in terms of the people, let's see what I've got. Yeah, there you go. If you focus in terms of the people, you can have, I'll put people here, and I can have, we focus on them, tick, we ignore them, tick, okay? Or you can focus on the task, and I'll put on this axis task, and I'll put a tick here, and I'll put a cross here. So what happens with most people is they focus on the task. They go, let's dig this shaft, let's make it all work. And so here's the product, gold, all shiny and happy. Bad luck, unfortunately, you leave behind you a little trail of dead bodies, okay, who are unfortunately victims of whatever your project strategy or strategy is. The other thing you'll find these days especially is that there's a lot of fashion for trying to make sure that people are engaged. So what you'll find is you get projects where everybody's happy. I'll draw some happy people here, put smiles on their faces. They're all holding hands. There's lots of team meets. Everyone's engaged and involved and feels very, very comfortable, and then safe spaces and all these wonderful things. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, so the people bit is great. Unfortunately, in the corner of the room, there's this little pile of steaming stuff, which is your outcome, which is not really very good. So here we've got the dead bodies, here we've got the steaming pile. Of course, you can ignore both the people and the task, and you can end up with both dead bodies and the steaming pile, not recommended. But where you want to really be is you want to be here. You want to be in this quadrant here, where you've got both the outcome and the people, okay? Now, here's the thing which you have to realize. If you focus on the task first, there's a little brick wall between the two areas, which you can't get past, because once you've got your dead bodies, they don't magically jump up and suddenly be able to participate. So the rule is very straightforward. You don't focus on the task directly. You basically engage the people to deliver the task. I'll say it again. Engage the people, involve the people, engage the people to deliver the task. So you use the people and their energy to deliver the task. You never chase after the task directly. If you chase after the task directly, you will end up with the trail of dead bodies. Of course, in real life, away from my gold mine, you don't normally get real dead bodies. What you end up having is you have people who resent what happened, or they'll never work with you again. And those will be your equivalent dead bodies. Okay. So how do we use the PET? Let's jump back onto Cube and have a look at the PET. So there's two stages to the PET. The first is just to understand, as you're doing something strategic or you're trying to look at change more strategically, focus on the people first. So you focus on engaging the stakeholders. You make sure they actually work together. You get them to think about what they're trying to achieve. And then you focus on making the task possible, making them, helping them to make it happen and deliver. So you go people and then task. If you come across any activity where all the conversation is about project planning or strategy outcome or the financials and so on, you know it's going to end up with a lot of misery at the end, okay? So that's the sort of the understanding of it. And here, the example of dead body syndrome from All Change, my book, would be something like, oh, we want to get everyone involved on Cube. That's delivering something important. So who have we got? We've got stakeholders, Amy, we've got Brian, we've got Charles. If you're not sure what makes somebody a stakeholder, there is a PET on stakeholders, and it tells you the 3 reasons why people become stakeholders. They call them Dracula killers, fence ball twirlers, and punters. But don't worry. Let's take Amy, for example. Let's pretend that Amy is somebody who's going to stab your project in the heart if you don't engage Amy. So where is Amy? Well, have I aligned them? No. Maybe what I need to do with Amy is I need some hopes and fears and set some ground rules. Okay, so that's where we are with Amy. Charles, on the other hand, has to support you. But Charles doesn't know much about you. So have you built trust with them? So the PET you probably think about there is the one here called blind trust. Now, Daniel, on the other hand, is part of your project team actually doing the job. And right now, Daniel's worried that what they're doing as they start to take ownership of the activity is making them nervous. So you might want to use a PET like Fix It Now or Anxiety Gap to try and help them to take over the ownership. So what we've got here is the type of stakeholder. And what we've got along this way is the type of activity you might drive with each particular stakeholder. So that's dead body syndrome. Go back, have a look at the tasks you're trying to achieve. Make sure that you're managing the people to deliver the change and not chasing after the change directly. And once you've done that, then think about what you need to do to get each type of stakeholder to be able to perform and have the best life they can. I've been Eddie Obeng. Quick guide, as always, is above. Subscribe to the weekly newsletter below, and let me know how you get on with your dead body syndrome.